All right. Humans versus Ad Nauseam this time. This is going to be one that a little bit easier of a matchup than just the mono red Phoenix this time around, because Humans does have some disruption. It does have some ways to play things like Meddling Mage and being like, oh, you can't play that card, right? So it does have ways to disrupt the Ad Nauseam player. I have not discussed who is locked for top 8 yet. I was waiting until after round 4 before I reveal that information. And there are only 3 players that are officially locked in. Everybody else, whether they show up or not and get points, matters. Right? Placement also matters on how you make it work. But there are, if some of the people that aren't currently in the top 8 go undefeated, they could be able to surpass, 4 through 8th, essentially, if they do not get any points. If certain players don't get any points. Yeah, I wonder who's locked. Oh, interesting. Alright, so here's the 8th vial. Here's a cavern naming dinosaurs. No, he's really naming humans. He's got Storm in hand. Looks like Pentad Prism. Keenan gonna lose another life. Be at 18. Basically, it's just like, hey, build up these mana rocks to be able to... Oh, he's got 2 Ad Nauseams in hand. But he has Phyrexian on life. So he can play Phyrexian on life next turn. So, champion, hanging out. So you see him kind of debating about that Simian Spirit Guide here and wanting to keep the extra mana on the Pentad Prism. 1, 2, 3. Here's this Phyrexian on life. Noble Hierarch triggers. Tip this up to 2. Gets a land now. Also, we see another Noble available. Can really start speeding through some aggression here. Alright, taps. We are going to be vialing in that Thalia's Lieutenant. Brings the beats. 3, 4, 5 points of damage here. Puts Keenan to 13. So I'm going to remove these 2 for double black. I would like to play this Ad Nauseam, please. Matt's going to have no response. He says, hey, so what I get to do is I am going to go to negative bonkers here and going to draw my whole deck, and then I get to look through it, and I'm going to remove these Simian Spirit Guides, and then I'm going to cast this Lightning Storm, and I'm going to kill you. Because I can discard all of these lands to Lightning Storm. It's like, I got another Simian Spirit Guide in here somewhere. There it is. Or, oh, he's looking for Lightning Storm. So, we get to both do it, though. So if you want to discard your lands, go right ahead. We'll play this little back and forth ping pong match where you have your hand to use. I've got my hand. My hand happens to be 60-some cards, essentially, here. Or, 48. Oh. Now, here's the question. Does Keenan have the Pact of Negation in his deck? So, Matt has a Spell Queller. So that's what he's doing right now. Fetching, shocking, paying 3. Would like to Spell Queller that. There it is. Pact of Negation, he says. Matt's just like, oh. So that's how we're playing, huh? Ya bully. You got me. And that's kind of textbook of what you want the deck to do, right? You're hoping for that pretty much exact stuff to be happening. Now, sideboard stuff, I like Keenan bringing in things like maybe some disrupting stuff. Like if he's got Echoing Truth, Path to Exile, things like that to kind of get some things off the board. Supreme Verdicts. Stuff like that would be nice because if Meddling Mage comes out, right? Meddling Mage comes out, name a card, the name card can't be played. And when you're playing a combo deck and your specific combo pieces, Ad Nauseam, Lightning Storm, right? Those cards, if they can't be played, you can't really combo off. So, it does make it hard. You also get like Angel's Grace, Fraction on Life that you can name. He can name these pieces to really kind of stop his opponent from being able to do what he wants to do. So, it's going to be tough. Game 2, if Matthew here is able to assemble a hand that is kind of designed to mess with the combo stuff. And we'll see how he does, right? Maybe he's got specific cards that he wants to bring in, right? Maybe we're going to be seeing Dampening Sphere. Maybe to mess with his opponent. I don't... Sin Collectors? I'm trying to think of things that he might have that he'll want to bring in. Right? All right, let's get ready for game number 2. Vial seems pretty good way to start. Now, is he going to 19, 17? How's he feeling? Going to 17. That's a nice little addition to be able to get there early on. All right. Having a Thalia out early, making everything cost more, seems pretty good. Alright, so here's 3 points of damage. We do see Meddling Mage hiding up in the corner. I don't know if he named ad nauseam or what, but he named something. Oof, oof, oof. Let's get rid of that, shall we? Kill that. Let's kill that. Or I guess he didn't take the 3 more, so he's at 17. He's paying the mana. Okay, so things are looking tough right now, with Keenan really having to find a way to get with a Meddling Mage in order for him to get there. So here's the combat coming across. 3 points of damage. I might have missed some damage as well, but eh. That's pretty nice. Phyrexian Life coming out. So I'm assuming Meddling Mage named ad nauseam here. 2 of them. Nice. Let's get rid of one of those, he says. No, let's not. Just kidding. Let's do this to get rid of that one. Ooh, get rid of all of them. Woohoo! There's a nice sideboardy, if you will. This lovely Deputy of Detention. Detention Sphere on a creature. Two, three, four. I mean, a champion of the pairs should be bigger, right? No, it's a wizard, not a human. Oops. Dropping him to 10. Keenan hoping that he can find a way to get rid of the board. I mean, that's also why some of the ad nauseam players might run Supreme Verdict or something like that in their list to help against decks like this, but doesn't really help against Spell Queller. So, and he knows there is a Spell Queller there. Collected Brutality. Let's go. Oh, Meddling Mage. Name Lightning Storm. Triggers. Time for game number 3. And that's, you know, we talked about that too. It's like Meddling Mage really was the shutdown card in that game. And we saw a lot of removal get used for Keenan to try to make something happen, but wasn't really able to do it. Alright, so game 3 is really going to be a race of how quickly can Keenan get his stuff online before Thalia's come out, before Meddling Mages, before even our Detention Sphere with legs comes out. Deputy of Detention. And that's a pretty good start. All the mana, all the time. So, Matthew going to go to 17, play a Noble. So, no Vial this turn, which will have an effect on things. Serum comes out, and this is the setup stage for Ad Nauseam, right? They're trying to construct the right hand in order to go off. He's really got to wait like 2 turns anyway before those Lotus Petals come off of Suspend for him to get access to a bunch of mana. And you see him really missing out on any lands too, which allows this to happen. Here's Meddling Mage. We're going to name Ad Nauseam, right? That seems like a fair one to start, or Lightning Storm, something like that he can go with. Or does that say Pact? Pact of Negation, he says. Ooh, coming at you for 1. Sending a message. Sleight of hand. I will take this, put that there. That goes away. Here's another sleight of hand. See, he's got a Fatal Push, so he could be able to push stuff like that Meddling Mage next turn if he wanted. He doesn't have an Angel's Grace, I don't believe yet. It looks like a Phyrexian Unlife in his hand as well. And Lightning Storm. Here's 3 points of damage. Keenan's going to fall to 15. Another Meddling Mage. This one's going to name Lotus Bloom. Boo. That is gross. Gross. Basically says you can't cast those named cards. Guess what? They come off Suspend. They try to get casted. Not gonna happen. Four points of damage. Keenan gonna fall to 11. Not doing anything or playing anything, it's also giving indication that, hey, I am going to counter or exile whatever you really try to do, right? Four more. Let's attempt to Supreme Verdict. So you get around it because you're not actually countering it, right? You're exiling it. Now, if that dies, you're going to be for a world of hurt. 2, 4, 6. So I must have missed. Oh, I missed the point of him having to pay the life off of that. So there's the tap out. There's the hand. And humans being able to shut off using Meddling Mage is pretty good, it seems. So very nice played from all the players this evening. But now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The top 8 information. So, as it stands, there are 3 people. Yep, you heard it. 3 of them that are officially locked in for top 8. We've had a mix of players throughout the season, and it's a very close race, actually, on the top 8 players. Official 3 people that there's no way they will be ever knocked out of the top 8. There might be some shifting in numbers and things like that, but they cannot get out of the top 8. And that is TJ Schellenberg, currently in first place with 102 points. Lucas is sitting with 90 points. Leighton with 85 points. Those are our 3 official locked players. They can't fall out. Don't have to worry about that now. My camera is super crooked, guys. What are you doing, camera? I know it's like super like lazy mode tonight, but don't have to be having everybody's head tilted to the side. So the way it's set up is those 3 players don't have to worry. They don't even have to show up if they don't want to tomorrow, but you should. You really should. So come on out and play. The other players, right? It's close. I will let everybody know, as it stands, 8th place has 76 points. Okay? A couple people below him are close, right? 69, 67, 60 points. Sadly, if you have 60 points, if you go undefeated, right, end up with 75, cannot make the top 8. That leaves 2 live people, Johnny Boyd and RJ, as the 2 live that could sneak their way into the top 8. Rest of the players super close, right? 60 points, 57, 57, 55, all really, really close, but just barely missed out. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the final week shapes up and how the standings end up with the players. I mean, unless I miss something. Now I'm going to double check. Because now I was just looking at one of the people with 60, and things could be a little bit off. Oh, I did miss something. I lied. One of the players has 63 points. Not that it changes his placement, but if it now makes 3 people live for the top 8. So 3 players are live now for the top 8. Those below 60 points, though, is still official. You cannot make the top 8 this season. But if you're above 60 points, so we've got somebody at 63 points, somebody at 67, and one player at 69. Johnny, RJ, and Keenan was the player that I missed inputting his week number 9 points. But again, you really got to grind hard for this final week. All right. So if Keenan goes undefeated, 15-0, all right, 5-0 there, not 15-0, 5-0, get those 15 points, right, at 78, is able to get into the top 8, assuming our 8th player gets 0 points. And assuming that the 2 players above him do not get points. So it's like these weird little nuances that we have to try to figure out and see who can make it in and who can't. So going to be very exciting to see on who all makes it. But for those that do not know right now, I'll just do a quick rundown of our top 8 in order real quick. TJ's in first, Lucas is in second, Leighton is in third. That means Matt Harshman is in 4th, Andrew Burns is in 5th, Lyle is in 6th, Jeremy is in 7th, and Justin is in 8th with Johnny, RJ, and Keenan 9, 10, and 11 for the chance to make it into the top 8. Everybody below that, 12th, 13th, 14th, you played well. You guys are in the 50s, right? Robert Push, Al, Kyle, very close, not making it this season. But really interesting to see how the final week will shape up. But that's going to do it tonight, guys. Got points, making sure our math is correct. Everything's all set and ready to go for tomorrow's 10th and final week of this season before we officially discuss who is making the top 8. So please keep your eyes peeled next week as we do our final week of the regular season of Season 10. Again, if you like the coverage, hit the follows, hit the subscribes, all that good stuff. Again, if you're on Patreon, you do get access to that sort of information about the top 8, things like that, before it does go live for everybody else. It got posted up over the weekend, gets announced here on Monday, and then for everybody else on Tuesday. So, but that's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, thanks so much for tuning in and watching, guys, and I will catch you all next time.